Okay, this is our next PowerPoint 3.2.1, and it's an introduction to structural design, even though we've already kind of started with structure with the floor that we did last. So this one we're going to start with our talking about in general the structure in the building. I think about it as the skeleton that holds the building up. So primary function, support and transmits loads, kind of like your skeleton. Strength, stability, economic value. And here's our parts. We've already talked about roof and walls and the floor, and now we're talking about the framing and the foundation. That's where we're going to be heading with this. And these pieces here are some extra parts that we're going to be adding. They're kind of subparts of the subsystem, so we need to do each one of these separately. Beams, columns. We won't have trusses or arches or any of these others in our library, but we will do beams and columns. So we've already talked about forces and loads. We could have vertical loads going straight down like snow, horizontal like wind. We also have our dead loads and our live loads inside, people, furniture, etc. Tension is anything that's pulling out, compression, anything that's pushing in, and shear is going in two different directions. Think about a piece of paper or fabric being cut by scissors. That's literally a shear force, down on one side, up on the other. Beams can get bent like this, and what's actually happening is on top we're getting compression and on the bottom we're getting tension. A cantilever beam is only attached on one end. It's very unstable at this end. Think of a diving board. It's a cantilever beam, a lot of motion on this end. Columns are vertical, they go up and down. They transmit the load from the floor to down to the footings down here. Trusses, arches that we've seen in other architecture. Vaults are basically a continuous arch that stretches down. Domes is a circular, if you notice this is still an arch, but it's just been in a radiate from a central point. Hybrid forms, you can see these pictures of some different ones, combinations. And then our design process. This is our basic design process from Project Lead the Way, and it goes through the basic steps. And we're going to be using these steps as we come up with our structural components, defining the problem, coming up with concepts, developing a solution, testing it, and in this case we're going to be testing with calculations, and then if it doesn't work, going back and trying different options. And we'll be seeing that throughout this process. That's all for now. Thanks.